So I've always had a rule on my show. Basically, I have opinions, and you can have opinion on my opinion. But I'm not going to have an opinion on your opinion on my opinion.
All right, let's talk about something that's at the very heart of what we're building here. Something that just clicked for me while listening to Colin Cowherd, and it perfectly explains why this channel exists and what makes our community so special. Colin just laid out his golden rule. I have opinions, and you can have your opinions, but I'm not going to have opinions on your opinions. And that right there, that single sentence, is the philosophical core of what I'm trying to do here, but in the exact opposite direction. Let me be crystal clear. I am here specifically to have opinions on your opinions. That's the entire point. That's the bridge I want to build. I want your takes, my takes, Colin's takes, Nick's takes. I want all the takes swirling together in one giant, beautiful, chaotic football conversation. Now, I completely understand why Colin and other mainstream personalities operate the way they do. They have 3-hour daily shows. They have massive production teams. Colin probably wakes up at some ungodly hour. I remember when he was on West Coast time, they were in the office by 6 a.m. for a 9 a.m. show. They're dealing with gajillion-dollar careers, families, and the immense pressure of being the voice for millions. For them, getting bogged down in comment sections and endless back and forth would be professional suicide. They'd never get out alive. So Colin's rule makes perfect sense for his role in the sports ecosystem. But that's exactly why what we're building here is so different and so necessary. I see this channel as the complementary piece to that ecosystem. We're the bridge between the big mainstream takes and the real, raw opinions happening in living rooms and barbershops across the country. Let me break down how this actually works in practice because I live and breathe this stuff. The variety of our conversations. Sometimes it's 100% my take. Here's what I believe, unfiltered. Sometimes it's my commentary specifically on Colin's or Nick's take, breaking down why I think they're right or wrong. Sometimes it's takes influenced by your comments, like when Seahawks fans made me reconsider my Rams analysis. Sometimes it's literally sitting at the table with you having a real-time conversation. This variety is what keeps me energized. I couldn't just do the same format every day. I'd go crazy. But more importantly, this approach creates something genuinely unique. The comment section is my lifeblood. I'm going to be brutally honest here. I spend an absurd amount of time in the comments. I'm talking lining up at the grocery store, checking comments. About to fall asleep? Reading one more thread. At the movies early? Engaging with your takes. Sometimes it's amazing. Sometimes I'm reading a comment calling me a clown right before bed, and I have to quickly find a nice comment to end on a positive note. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Here's why this matters. I would feel disconnected and almost like I'm lying if I didn't engage with you. Think about it. You're spending your time watching these videos, forming thoughtful opinions, writing comments, and then I just ignore them? That feels fundamentally wrong to me. When Pittsburgh Steelers fans are telling me how they really feel about their team, or when Eagles fans are defending Jalen Hurts with actual game knowledge, that information is gold. It makes my analysis better. It keeps me grounded. It ensures I'm not just another talking head disconnected from what actual fans are experiencing. Everyone has their role in the sports ecosystem. Let's be real about the landscape. Colin is the seasoned analyst with insider access. Nick Wright plays the heel, the provocateur. Greg Cosell is the pure film analyst. No opinions, just what he sees. Orlovsky brings the technical quarterback perspective. Stephen A. is the entertainer, the hype man. And then there's you. You have the most important role because you're the ones living and breathing this with your teams every single week. What I'm trying to build here is the space where all these perspectives can collide, where your frontline experience as a Steelers fan in Pittsburgh or a Raiders fan in Oakland actually influences the conversation, where we can have genuine back and forth without the constraints of a 3-hour television production schedule. So when Colin says he won't have opinions on your opinions, I say, bring them on. That's exactly what I'm here for. That's why this community feels so alive and authentic. We're not just passively consuming takes, we're actively shaping them together. And that, to me, is what makes football conversation truly special. Now I want to hear your thoughts about, well, my thoughts about thoughts. Do you appreciate this back-and-forth approach, or do you prefer creators who stick to their own takes? Has your opinion ever changed based on discussions in this comment section? What's one take you wish mainstream analysts would listen to from real fans? How does this interactive approach compare to other sports content you consume? Let's get into the comments and have the meta discussion about discussions. This is exactly what makes our community different. We can have these layered conversations that go beyond surface-level takes. If you appreciate this more connected, interactive approach to sports commentary, make sure to subscribe. We're building something genuinely different here, and I'd love for you to be part of it. And of course, if you enjoyed this more philosophical take, please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps these conversations reach more people who want something beyond the usual sports talk. Thank you for being part of this experiment. Now let's get into those comments. I'll be there with you.